Do you feel it, don't you? That subtle weight you carry in your shoulders, that tension living between your ribs, that restlessness dancing in the depths of your chest without asking permission. Perhaps you woke up today, and before even fully opening your eyes, you already felt your body speaking. Through a dull ache, through a tiredness that sleep couldn't dissolve, through a tightness that has no name but has an exact address inside you. And perhaps, my dear, you've learned to ignore those signals. Perhaps you've grown accustomed to pushing emotions into a dark corner, to telling your body that you'll deal with it later, that now isn't the time, that you need to be strong and keep moving forward. But what if I told you that your body never stopped waiting for you? What if I told you that your emotions never gave up trying to talk to you, even when you closed every door? This moment, right now, is an invitation. A gentle invitation, without rush, without demands. It's the invitation for you to stop, breathe, and finally listen. Listen to what your body has been whispering. Listen to what your emotions have been shouting in silence. Because the truth, dear soul, is that you're not two separate things. You're not a body carrying emotions or emotions trapped in a body. You are a complete dance, an entire symphony where each note needs the other to create the music of your existence. Breathe with me now, slowly, very slowly. There's an ancient wisdom inside you that knows the way back home. Home isn't a place outside of you. It's that state of harmony where body and emotions speak the same language, dance to the same rhythm, inhabit the same sacred space with respect and love. And you can get there. Not tomorrow, not after you figure everything out, not when you're stronger or more prepared. Now, exactly as you are. I deserve to be at peace with my body and my emotions. Repeat this with me, even if only in the silence of your heart. Let these words echo inside you like a truth that was always there, waiting to be recognized. You deserve, not because you did everything right, not because you achieved something extraordinary, not because you finally became perfect. You deserve simply because you exist, because you breathe, because you're here in this moment, willing to meet yourself again. The harmonization between body and emotions isn't a distant destination you need to reach through Herculean effort. It's a gentle return. It's like a seed that never stopped carrying within itself the memory of the entire tree. You never stopped carrying within yourself the memory of your wholeness. What happened was simply that you forgot, temporarily, how to access that truth. And do you know why you forgot? Because life taught you, in many ways, that you needed to choose. Choose between being strong or being sensitive, between taking care of responsibilities or taking care of yourself, between showing you can handle it or admitting you're tired. You learn to divide yourself, to create compartments, to keep certain parts of you locked away while letting others function on autopilot. But today, on this morning that opens before you like an endless field bathed in light, you can unlearn that. You can release that old belief that you need to be fragmented to survive. You can allow all parts of you to finally meet, recognize each other, embrace. Let me show you something. Close your eyes for a moment if you can. Bring your attention to your heart. Don't think about it, just feel it. Feel that constant beating, that rhythm that has never abandoned you, not for a single second, since the day you came into this world. Your heart is beating now, pumping life, distributing energy, sustaining you without you having to do absolutely anything other than allow. Your heart knows what to do. Your entire body knows what to do. There's an intelligence operating inside you at this exact moment that is infinitely greater than any anxious thought, any worry, any fear. Your cells are renewing themselves. Your blood is circulating. Your breath is bringing oxygen to every corner of your being. All of this is happening now as you read these words, like a silent and constant miracle. And your emotions? Ah, dear soul, your emotions are as wise as your body. They are messengers. Each one brings precious information about what you need, about what is misaligned, about where you need to direct more love and attention. Sadness isn't here to destroy you. It's here to show you where something needs to be honored, released, or healed. Anger isn't your enemy. It teaches you about your boundaries, about what you no longer want to tolerate, about where you need to reclaim your power. Fear isn't weakness. It's the protective instinct asking you to look more carefully, to prepare yourself, to trust that you have what you need to traverse the unknown. When you understand this, everything changes. Emotions stop being monsters. You need to lock in the basement and become gentle teachers walking beside you, whispering wisdom in the moments when you need it most. I allow my emotions to flow freely and safely. They are messengers of healing and wisdom. But I know, my dear, that it's not always easy. I know there are days when you feel your body like a stranger, like something that betrays you, that doesn't cooperate, that carries pains you didn't ask to feel. I know there are moments when your emotions seem like a chaotic storm, uncontrollable, too frightening to be faced. And that's okay. You don't need to pretend everything is resolved. You don't need to wear a mask of peace when inside you're in pieces. That validation is the first step of healing. Allowing yourself to be exactly where you are, without judgment, without rushing to be somewhere else. Perhaps you grew up hearing that you shouldn't cry, that you should be strong, that emotions were signs of weakness. Perhaps they taught you that your body needed to be disciplined, controlled, molded to fit expectations that never made sense for you. And so you learned to ignore it, to push beyond limits, to disconnect in order to function. But listen to this with an open heart. You're not broken for feeling. You're not weak for needing rest. You're not defective for having a body that speaks through symptoms, through pains, through signals. In fact, the more you feel, the more you listen, the more alive you are, more connected, more whole. And if there's judgment inside you now, that critical voice that says you should be beyond this, that you should have overcome it already, that others manage and why can't you? Just observe that voice. Don't fight it. Just recognize that's not your true voice. It's the echo of ancient voices, of external expectations, of fears that aren't yours. Your true voice is gentle. Your true voice embraces you. Your true voice reminds you, always, that you are enough exactly as you are. Breathe this inward. Breathe this truth until it becomes more real than any criticism. Now, I want you to do something simple with me. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Feel the warmth of your own hands against your body. That warmth is healing. That touch is love. You're telling your body, I see you, I honor you, I am here. And as your hands rest in that gentle contact, imagine a soft, golden, welcoming light descending from above and enveloping you completely. This light has no hurry. It moves slowly, carefully, as if it knew exactly where you need more attention. It enters through the crown of your head, calming your mind, dissolving spiraling thoughts. It descends to your throat, where so many words get stuck, and releases them with tenderness. It reaches your shoulders, where you carry the weight of the world, and relaxes them completely. The golden light continues, caressing your heart. Here it lingers a bit longer, because it knows. It knows of all the sorrows stored, all the unexpressed loves, all the hurts you've carried in silence. And then, with a love you may have never felt before, this light embraces all of that. Not to erase it, but to hold it, to say you don't need to carry this alone anymore. The light descends further, touching your stomach, where so many emotions tangle and create knots. It releases those knots, one by one, with infinite patience. And it continues its path, bringing healing to every organ, every muscle, every bone, every cell. You are being bathed in light. You are being healed from the inside out. My body and my emotions work in perfect harmony. I am a sacred unity of love and balance. Do you perceive it now, don't you? That when you honor your body, you honor your emotions. And when you embrace your emotions, you heal your body. They were never separate, never opposed. They were always partners in the dance of your existence, waiting only for you to stop and listen to them. And this listening doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be a heroic journey of self-discovery that takes years. It can be as simple as breathing consciously 3 times in the morning. It can be placing your hand on your heart and asking, what do you need today? It can be allowing yourself to cry when tears come, without trying to understand why. It can be moving your body in a way that brings pleasure, not punishment. It can be lying in the grass and feeling the earth holding you. Small practices, simple moments, but each one of them is an act of love. Each one of them is you saying, I choose to align, I choose to harmonize, I choose to come home. And when you make these choices, something magical happens. Your body begins to trust you again. Your emotions begin to flow more easily, knowing you won't repress them, ignore them, or judge them anymore. There's a blooming that happens from the inside out, like a flower that was closed during winter and finally feels the first breeze of spring. Perhaps you're wondering, but what about when life gets difficult again? What about when the demands return? What about when I forget all this and fall back into old patterns? My dear, life will keep happening. Challenges will appear. There will be days when you'll disconnect again, and that's okay, because now you know. You know that this place of harmony exists inside you. You know the way back, and each time you return, it gets easier. Each time you choose to align again, the path becomes clearer, more familiar. You're not seeking perfection, you're seeking awareness. You're not trying to never feel pain or discomfort again. You're learning to relate to them differently, with compassion, with curiosity, with the wisdom that they have something to teach you. And there's something else I need you to know. You're not alone in this. There's a greater force holding you. You can call it universe, divine energy, inner guide, unconditional love. The name doesn't matter as much as the truth it carries. You are being supported. You are being guided. There's an intelligence operating through you and around you that desperately wants you to feel whole, loved, at peace. I trust the wisdom of my body. I honor the truth of my emotions. I am harmony in action. Feel this, not just as words, but as a truth that resonates at the deepest level of your being. You are harmony in action. You don't need to reach it in the future. You already are this now in this moment. You're just remembering. And now, dear soul, I want to invite you to cultivate gratitude. Not the superficial gratitude of mechanical lists, but the deep gratitude that is born when you truly perceive the miracle of being alive. Thank your heart for never stopping beating. Thank your lungs for each breath. Thank your hands that allow you to touch the world. Thank your feet that carry you. And thank your emotions, yes, all of them. Thank sadness for teaching you about depth. Thank anger for showing you where you need boundaries. Thank fear for keeping you aware. Thank joy for reminding you of who you really are when all layers are removed. Gratitude is like water for a garden. It makes everything flourish. It transforms the ordinary into the sacred. And when you begin to thank your body and your emotions, something inside you opens. A door that was locked swings wide open, and through that door, light enters. So much light that you can barely believe you were living in darkness for so long. Miracles aren't always big, dramatic events. Sometimes, a miracle is waking up and feeling less pain. It's being able to breathe deeply without that tightness in your chest. It's having a gentle thought about yourself instead of a critical one. It's feeling, for the first time in a long time, that you're okay exactly where you are. These are the miracles available to you now. Not in the distant future, but now. Each moment, when you choose to embrace rather than reject, to harmonize rather than fragment, is a miracle unfolding. Before we close this moment together, I want to leave you with some questions. You don't need to answer them now out loud, but let them live inside you. Let them echo gently in the coming days. What message is my body trying to send me today? What emotion have I been avoiding feeling completely? What would it be like if I allowed myself to be gentle with myself without conditions? What would happen if I trusted that my body knows the way to healing? Let these questions accompany you, not as demands, but as invitations. Invitations for you to deepen the relationship with yourself, to discover layers of wisdom that were always there, waiting to be revealed. And if you hear that voice saying, "It's too late," or "I already tried this before and it didn't work," or "This isn't for me," just observe. Observe how these beliefs are like invisible chains trying to keep you in the familiar place. even if that familiar place is uncomfortable. And then gently ask, is it true? How do I know it's true? Often you'll discover that these beliefs are just old stories, not facts. It's never too late to come home. It's never too late to harmonize body and emotions. You may have spent decades disconnected, and still, with a single moment of awareness, with a single intentional breath, you can begin the journey back. I deserve to be at peace with my body and my emotions. This day, opening before you now, isn't just another day. It's the day you chose to see yourself differently. It's the day you decided to honor the sacred temple that is your body. It's the day you allowed your emotions to be heard, seen, loved. And that choice changes everything. When you leave here, when you return to your responsibilities, to your commitments, to the life waiting for you, you don't go alone. You carry with you this new awareness. You carry this nascent harmony between body and emotions. And each time you remember it, each time you choose to honor it, even for a moment, you'll be planting seeds of transformation that will continue growing. Even when you're not looking, your body will begin to relax more. Your emotions will flow more easily. You'll find yourself making different choices, choices that nourish you instead of exhausting you, that align you instead of fragmenting you. And over time, these choices will create a new way of existing in the world. A softer way, truer, more whole. Walk through this day knowing you are supported. The universe conspires in your favor. Your own essence is on your side. And with each breath, with each heartbeat, with each moment of awareness, you're moving closer to the version of you that was always there, waiting to be fully embraced. You are a masterpiece in constant creation. You are a living miracle. Your body is sacred. Your emotions are valid. And you, exactly as you are in this moment, deserve all the healing, all the peace, all the harmony that life can offer. My body and my emotions work in perfect harmony. I am a sacred unity of love and balance. Carry this truth with you. Let it become the background music of your existence. And whenever you feel lost, whenever you forget, whenever you fragment again, remember, you can always come home. Home is that place inside you where body and soul dance together, where emotions and physical presence meet in sacred embrace, where you can finally rest in the certainty that you are complete, whole, deeply loved. And so it is, and so it will always be. You are harmony, you are healing, you are love manifested in human form. Breathe this inward one last time, and go, with the blessing that everything inside you is aligning, harmonizing, healing in this exact moment. You are well. You have always been well, and you will always be well.